There we go. A giant steam shovel. Into the Amazon. We decided to head into the interior of the continent with the Panamanian dynamite blasters. Unfortunately, their escape plan involved stealing one of the steam shovels from the canal dig site and riding it all the way to Tabatinga. A wonderful idea. Or so I thought before we did it. Who doesn't like to drive on one of those ginormous excavators? It's gonna be like the opening cinematic in the second Transformer movie. You know, when that giant excavator just went up on two wheels and whatever. Let me describe the theft of the steam shovel. It was hardly an elegant affair. For my part, I offered what help I could. A practical decision. The quicker the theft, the quicker our journey could begin. They put me on lookout duty. A lucky thing too, as Gessner, the Haitian crew leader, decided to take a midnight stroll with his lady friend in the middle of our little adventure. I distracted Gessner with a few strategically thrown rocks and rattlings which led him to follow me away from the canal site. I settled Monsieur Fogg upon the steam shovel and loaded our bags before they started the engine. We rode out of Panama City with our boom swinging free, destroying buildings and creating an unholy racket. The dynamite blasters, as the profession indicated, were not masters of stealth. We were gone before the Haitians roused from their beds. Still, I do not think we should return to Panama City soon. Perhaps in a decade or two. We left our mark on the city, essentially. Best grim fog, because it's kind of unsavory to travel through the desert, or through the jungles, I mean. As the day progressed, the dynamite blasters stripped the steam shovel of its winch, bucket, and any extraneous part to speed up our journey. Belisario, one of the blasting crew, tried to remove the roof of the cabin, which would expose my master and me to the elements. I protested heartily, and they acquiesced with a grumble. We did not reach Medellin that night, and had to camp under a copse of trees. At least we were under cover. The Yanomano? I don't know what that is, Kebzero. I don't remember if it is in this novel. Matteo, the youngest of the dynamite blasters, disappeared overnight. Jaffiel's mouth set in a grim line, but he did not seem overly concerned. As he passed through the town of Medellin, we found him collapsed in front of a bar, clearly the worse for gin. Jaffiel kicked Matteo's shin irritably. Take him with us or leave him here. We put it to a vote. The remaining 4 dynamite blasters split evenly, with Jaffiel voting against. He looked at me. Uh-oh. Nah, we can't abandon the poor young kid. No, I voted to keep him. And Monsieur Fogg followed suit. Your heart is too soft, Jaffiel grunted. Vano, the only black member of the crew, picked Matteo up and tucked him behind the engine block, giving me a grateful smile as we rode away. Let's check the newspapers. 2 Europeans seen stealing steam shovel in Panama. Oh, I see, Kebzero. Okay. Yeah, we'll see how things go. See who we meet. We made good time to Bogota. The steam shovel's wheels rolled easily on the cleared trade routes. Eduardo was the only dynamite blaster with any engineering skill, and kept a close eye on our stolen fuel reserves. We have just enough, he determined. We do not want to run out of fuel once we cross into the Amazon jungle. I have heard stories, I confessed. Of tribals that eat human flesh. Of enormous black snakes which eat men whole. The anaconda, yes, Eduardo shrugged casually, as if man-eating snakes were unremarkable to him. A suggestion from one friend to another: do not go swimming in the Amazon River. I could not stop thinking about the Amazon rainforest. Our journey had been uncomfortable so far, but I could not help but think it was about to take a turn for the truly dangerous. So, do we jump off here in Bogota? Or do we go on to the final destination? I mean, we paid for the full journey. So, Bogota or Tabatinga? Tabatinga? Okay. Onwards we go. We retired early, hoping that a good night's sleep would prepare us for the challenges ahead. Trying to hit the groom button. You can't see his health because it's beneath my chair, but still, it's getting kind of low. You might lose fog out here in the Amazon. How can I possibly describe the Amazon rainforest without doing it a disservice? It is lushly green, every surface and tree branch and mossy rock and patch of brown earth teeming with life. We constantly slapped away insects. Birds of every possible hue darted between the trees, which nearly obscured the sky. Jaguars roared to each other in the distance. I leapt at every rustle and breaking branch, which made me a nervous wreck before the evening was out. I took to carrying around a sturdy stick with me at all times, despite Monsieur Fogg calling my affectation perfectly absurd. Oh, he didn't like that. Oh well. Fogg didn't approve. Tabatinga approaches. Eduardo woke the entire camp with an explosive shout. He regarded each of us with burning eyes. Someone, he whispered dangerously, has stolen our fuel. The forest seemed, all of a sudden, much darker than a moment before. Eduardo pulled a revolver from a pocket and pointed it straight at me. You, outsider, it must have been you. I looked around at the other Panamanians. There was perhaps a flicker of sympathy there, but it appeared I had not made any friends among the group. I took a breath. Let's all calm down, I said, in a placating tone. Lower your revolver. Shut up, Eduardo shouted, gun swinging wildly in his hands, and a glazed look in his eye. Just shut up. I swung for him with my stick, and my blow connected with his weapon. I felt the kick of the revolver discharging. Oh no! Eduardo dropped the gun in shock, his eyes filling with horror. I turned and saw Chafil lying in a crumpled heap on the forest floor. Oh no! Oh no! I dropped to my knees beside him, thinking to staunch his bleeding, but the bullet had disintegrated half of his head. Eduardo screamed as if his soul was being ripped from him, and after that, the forest was still. Oh no! That didn't go the way I hoped. We didn't disarm him. We kind of got someone killed. Oops. Oops. Very much oops. You're most entertaining, Passepartout. Well, I don't know about that. By the morning, the stolen fuel had been returned to its proper place next to the engine. The crew blasted a deep hole with one of their sticks of dynamite, and they buried Chafil in it with as much ceremony as they could in the middle of the jungle. Eduardo had not spoken a word, so I sat with him as Belisario fed the fuel into the tank and started up the steam shovel. His face looked as though it had been ravaged overnight. He looked at me as if he could barely... Yeah, the cat is in the way. Cat? Cat? Could you please move? I killed him, he mumbled. I killed him. 1 second, folks, I have to move the cat. It's right in front of the screen now. All kinds of annoying having a cat sometimes. He likes to be in front of the TV screen because that's a really warm spot. Anyways, where were we? He could barely see me. I killed him, he mumbled. I killed him. I am as responsible. I sighed miserably. I lunged at you with my stick. I don't know, he moaned, rubbing his head. It was so fast. We made the remainder of the journey to Tabatinga in near silence. Belisario shook my head quickly in parting, but the others simply left. I never saw any of them again. I do not blame them, Monsieur Fogg said thoughtfully, looking around at the trading settlement. This is a journey best forgotten. We sure screwed up there then. Oof. Oof. What did I... Anyways, let's see then. Tabatinga, eh? Oh boy, let's explore. In the middle of the Amazon. Oh, we found a route. We did find a route. That goes to Belém. Okay. Tabatinga was a scattered trading settlement spread along the banks of the Amazon River. Despite its small size, its population was an equal mix of indigenous tribes, rubber tappers, and Spanish, British, and American rubber traders. Rubber was in great fashion in Europe and America, and 95% of it was imported from the Amazon. I spoke to an American rubber trader playing a game of whist against himself. You in rubber? No, I shook my head. Sugar? No. He regarded me warily. Slaves? No, I laughed at the absurdity. The trader crossed his arms. Then what the hell are you doing in Tabatinga? A good question. Trying to leave. The trader laughed. Most people are. Maybe you'll manage it. He gave me a searching look. I have a gift for a friend of mine in Dakar. Would you give it to her if you happen to be in the city? Dakar? Sure, of course. I agreed gallantly. Her name is Signore Delfine Rossignol. He handed me a vial of yellowish liquid. Do not sample it. It is tree frog poison. That much can kill 20 men. I did not ask why his friend required the poison before pocketing it, and he seemed most grateful. Uh-oh, we're going on a murder spree now. This is not good. We're going on an absolute murder spree. We let one murderer get away on the boat. then we accidentally kill someone else on the steam shovel. This isn't going out. This isn't going right, is it? The story is taking a dark turn. The sun was growing too hot, so we moved into the shade before we roasted. Okay. So the trip to Belém is tomorrow at 10 a.m. 3 suitcases only. And we have 5, I think. Yeah, we have quite a few. We have 6. Oh boy. Well, I don't think we're going to need a Caribbean timetable. Discard that one at least. Oh, come on. I have so many items now, it's kind of difficult. A sturdy stick. And the tree poison. Well, the tree poison we need to bring. Come on. Oh god, how do you do this? Or the accordion go over there for a bit. Too many bags. Why must this thing skedaddle like this? Don't like this. I have no idea if the sturdy stick is going to be useful for anything. We're not going to go through Salt Lake or Colombo. Dakar? We are going to go to Dakar. I'm going to try to organize my suit so that we can quickly get rid of things, if need be. Houston, we're not going to go through Houston. San Francisco, we're not going to go through there. Porto Novo. Where's Porto Novo? Rio Dakar. Okay, that one's valuable. The Brass Telescope, Port-au-Prince, Freetown. We might go over to Freetown, actually. That's valuable as well. Oh, this is difficult. How many suitcases can I bring? 3. Oh, this is difficult. The iron ore, let's get rid of the iron ore. Need to keep this. The Mongols sold. Might have to get rid of that. The cigarette case, I want to keep that, I think. The pottery we can get rid of. Uh-oh, time is going away, that's the problem. We only have so much time. Organizing inventory takes forever. Come on! Don't make us sleep on the streets now. Didn't constantly slide like this, so I could actually organize everything. I'm out of time. I'm actually out of time. Okay, sleep. Hopefully I can buy enough boxes. We'll see. We found a small lodgings where we were able to stay for free, shaded from the chill of the night air. Okay. Please tell me I can buy more crates. Nope, I can't. Fine, so I have to sell things. Throw that out. Throw that out. Job on freedom, that's fine. Poetry, throw that out. Throw out the gloves, sure. Railway, that's fine. Throw it out. Cotton flower might be useful. Throw out this. Houston. Not gonna go to Houston anymore. Might still go to Port-au-Prince. Throw this. That might be good to have. Throw this out. Yeah, throw that out, throw that out, throw that out. I keep my sturdy stick. Oh, I can keep my sturdy stick. There we go. We're good to go. Close the bags. Embark. The journey would be too much. Do it anyways. Oh, I can't do it. Oh no. Because I threw away part of the wardrobe. Oh, great. So we have to stay here because Fog's health is too low. Have to wait for him. There we go. We stayed another night in Tabatinga. That was annoying, and now probably can't. We can still go. Good. Let's go. It's a really rough journey. That's basically it. It's gonna basically kill Mr. Fogg. I admit to some romantic notions of a journey down the Amazon River. I had imagined an unspoiled land full of indigenous savages and wild beasts, and darkness barely relieved by the light of exploration. I had read one too many travelogues. This route was firmly inhabited. We bought our ticket from a booth by the side of the water. Let's converse. If I can talk to Fogg. No, dang it. Talk about Belen. Belen to Salvador. Salvador to San Francisco. Blah, blah, blah. Salvador, Buenos Aires. Okay, so we learned a few new trips. From Belém to Salvador. Okay. Paddle boats ply the length of the river, their holds full of fruit and smoked rubber. Ours, the Ayapua, was in fact a luxury three-decked vessel, complete with a well-stocked library of Spanish, Portuguese, and English tomes. I confess myself eager to enjoy the comfort after a long international peregrination. Nature was at her best when civilized. Oh, Fog's health is plummeting, by the way. Let's keep grooming him. Gotta see if we can keep Fog alive. The Amazon was a gelatinous brown. Our meals were cooked in river water, and so the cassava and rice took on a distinctly murky character. The other passengers seemed to take this discoloration in their stride. I followed their example. They were the experts after all. Monsieur Fogg picked at his food moodily. He was an Englishman, and hence naturally suspicious of meals which were anything other than puritanically bland. Poor Fogg. We'll see what health he has left once we reach Belém. One of the Ayapua's passengers introduced himself to me at the bar on the upper deck. He was a stocky black man with extravagant mutton chops. Granville Foray at your service. Pleased to meet you, monsieur. He looked surprised at my polite greeting. I am Passepartout, valet to Monsieur Phileas Fogg of London. Monsieur Foray turned out to be a merchant from Freetown in Sierra Leone, come to make his name in the Amazonian rubber trade. The Asante Empire and the Dahomey Kingdoms pay a premium for rubber, you know. I nodded with interest. Do they? Oh yes, for use in their airship and gyrocopters, naturally. I'm headed back to Freetown with a full cargo. How are you getting to Freetown? I asked with interest. Perhaps he had some insight into how best to cross the Atlantic. Oh, by airship from Belém. There are regular services. It is an important trade route. We learned a new route. And we have tons of items that are valuable in Freetown. So, yeah, I think we'll take that route, actually. If we can. There was a scuffle on the top deck yesterday, and a man fell into the water. Let's be adventurous again. I stripped off my shirt to jump in, and was at the rail before strong hands grabbed me. One of the crew who held me fast and then wordlessly pointed down at the man in the water. A black caiman with pale yellow bands had swum up behind him. While we watched, helpless, he was devoured quickly, with predatory efficiency. I felt sick. Yeah, this is like, this is a bit of a darker tale compared to finding love on the North Pole earlier. The other passengers were a mix of indigenous people, Europeans, Americans, and Africans. There were a fair number of attendants who must be servants rather than slaves. After all, the slave trade had been abolished. They were surely servants. In any case, I chose not to ask any of them their status. I did not want to get them into trouble. Oh, dear me. Yeah, let's feign naivety. Monsieur Fogg complained of cramps by the time we arrived at Belém. But if the rumblings of my own stomach were any guide, it was merely the horror of the journey than anything more serious. Okay, so he's down to 30 points of health. That could be done right now, actually. 10 AM, we have a few hours. Not enough to explore, there isn't a market here. We can afford this, right? Fleet on airship. Yeah, let's go right away. This is a bit scary, but we'll try to keep Fog alive. On the Asante airship.